Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're looking at something truly foundational. Today, we're exploring the iconic financial philosophy of Robert Kiyosaki, drawing directly from the very real experiences that shaped his worldview. This is a story all about the profound difference between how the middle class and the wealthy view money, risk, and, well, life itself. Okay, let's dive into this. Why do smart, highly educated people struggle financially their entire lives? I mean, have you ever wondered how someone with a PhD, someone who literally aced every exam, can still find themselves living paycheck to paycheck? It's a paradox, right? It really grabs you by the collar. We're going to answer that exact question today, and the answer might just change how you view your own financial trajectory. To really get this, we've got to look at the source material that basically flipped conventional wisdom about wealth on its head. The root issue here, the reason brilliant doctors, accountants, and bankers often struggle so much with money, is actually surprisingly simple. Financial literacy just isn't taught in schools, period. Our traditional education system is phenomenal at teaching scholastic and professional skills, but it completely ignores the actual mechanics of money. So what happens? You've got highly intelligent people graduating with stellar grades, but carrying around a poor person's financial programming. Section 1, A Tale of Two Dads, the Psychological Divide. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer power of phrasing. Growing up, the author had two father figures with completely polarized views on money. One was his biological dad, a super educated government employee who actually struggled financially. The other was his best friend's dad, a man who never even finished the 8th grade, but became one of the richest men in Hawaii. Just look at how they spoke. The educated dad would look at a high-priced item and just state, "I can't afford it." But the soon-to-be rich dad, he completely forbade those words. He insisted on asking, "How can I afford it?" The difference is massive. That first statement just puts your brain to sleep. It totally lets you off the hook. But the question? That forces your brain to wake up and get to work. It's not about buying everything in sight. It's about treating your mind like the most powerful computer in the world and giving it a daily workout. And the contrast didn't stop there. Check this out. The educated dad would advise, study hard so you can find a good company to work for. But the rich dad flipped that right on its head, saying, study hard so you can find a good company to buy. See the shift there? One mindset is entirely focused on successfully climbing the corporate ladder. The other, laser focused on owning the ladder altogether. And when it came to risk, the divide was even sharper. When it comes to money, play it safe, the poor dad would say, prioritizing a steady paycheck, a solid pension, and absolute security above all else. Meanwhile, the rich dad argued, learn to manage risk. These contrasting philosophies really hit the nail on the head. They perfectly illustrate the exact difference between an entitlement mentality, waiting for a company or the government to take care of you, and total, unshakable financial self-reliance. So, the crucial point is this. If you take away just one foundational rule from this explainer, let it be this core philosophy. The poor and the middle class work for money, but the rich, they have money work for them. At just 9 years old, young Robert looked at his two dads, looked at their vastly different results in life, and decided to follow his rich dad's advice. But as he'd quickly find out, deciding you're gonna get rich and actually pulling it off, well, those are two very different things. Section 2, the first business venture, lead nickels and big dreams. So after getting left out of a rich kid's beach trip, Robert and his buddy Mike decided it was time to get wealthy, and they had a highly sophisticated business plan. Step 1, scour the neighborhood for used, crumpled toothpaste tubes, which, fun fact, back in the 1950s were actually made of lead. Step 2, fire up the family hibachi grill to max heat and melt those tubes down in a steel pot. Step 3, pour that molten lead through small holes in milk cartons that were packed with plaster of Paris. I mean, it was an absolute disaster zone of snowy white plaster dust. And step 4? Well, they popped open the molds to reveal perfect, shiny lead nickels. They were quite literally making money. Well, that excitement was cut abruptly short. Robert's dad and a friend pulled up to the driveway, which at the time was functioning as a full-scale manufacturing plant. His dad had to sit them down on the front steps, both of them just covered in white dust and beaming with pride, and gently explain the little concept of counterfeiting. You can just picture the hilarious, kind of deflating moment when little Mike, with a quivering voice, looks up and asks, "You mean this is illegal?" Yep, their grand empire was shut down on opening day. But here is where the educated poor dad did something absolutely vital. Instead of punishing them for their accidental plunge into organized crime, he praised their initiative. He told them, "You're only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Keep going." Now, he admitted he didn't know how to actually make them rich, but he pointed them to someone who did, Mike's dad, the man quietly building a massive empire of warehouses and restaurants, the man who was about to become the rich dad. Section 3. Working for 10 cents, a lesson in frustration. The boys managed to score a meeting with the rich dad, and he gave them a strict take it or leave it offer. He'd teach them, but only if they worked for him. He didn't want to do classroom lectures. He wanted to mirror real life. So, their starting salary? A whopping 10 cents an hour. Every single Saturday morning, they spent 3 agonizing hours in a sweltering, unair-conditioned superette, just dusting canned goods while cars drove by, kicking up dirt in the parking lot. It was excruciatingly boring, and at the end of the day, they were handed a measly 30 cents. Just to put that into perspective, back then, a comic book cost 10 cents. So they were basically slaving away all day just to buy a couple of comic books. By week 4, the breaking point arrived. That 30-cent payday just wasn't enough to justify the sheer misery of the job. Young Robert felt like a slave for pennies. And worse, the rich dad hadn't shown his face or spoken a single word to him since day 1. Robert felt completely abandoned, tricked even. He told Mike he was done. He was ready to quit. But Mike, he just smiled. Turns out, his dad had predicted this exact reaction. So, our 9-year-old hero marches into the rich dad's office practically in tears and delivers this highly dramatic confrontation. He demands a raise to 25 cents an hour, points his finger right at him and says, "You haven't kept your word and you haven't taught me anything. You are a crook. You're greedy. You want all the money and don't take care of your employees." I mean, wow, heavy accusations from a little kid. Robert was absolutely sure he was going to get fired or screamed at. But the rich dad, he just rocked back in his swivel chair, chuckled, and delivered this totally calm, pivotal question. Does teaching mean talking or a lecture? He pointed out that Robert was expecting to be taught the way schools teach, with someone standing at the front of a room, spoon-feeding you all the answers. But the rich dad was using a radically different methodology. He was using the world to teach them. Section 4. Life pushes you around. Who is the real problem? And this brilliantly illustrates the rich dad's hidden curriculum. This whole carefully orchestrated simulation was designed to invoke an emotional reaction and then totally break that reaction down. He explained his philosophy like this. Life doesn't talk to you. It just sort of pushes you around. And every time life pushes you, it's not trying to punish you. No, it's life saying, wake up. There's something I want you to learn. He set up that 10-cent job specifically to push the boys, just to see how they'd react to feeling underpaid and unappreciated, which, let's be honest, is a feeling most adults grapple with their entire lives. He explained that when life pushes people, they generally take one of 3 distinct paths. Path 1, they just give up. They live their whole lives terrified of taking risks, so they play it safe and settle. Path 2, they get angry and push back, but they fight the totally wrong people. They fight their boss, their job, or even their spouse, angrily demanding more money without ever realizing their own mindset is the actual trap. But path 3, the rare few welcome the push. They look at the situation, figure out the lesson, learn, and move on. The ultimate lesson behind that miserable 10-cent job was to cure the entitlement mentality before it could take root. Think about it. If you constantly blame your boss for your low pay, your only option is to quit and cross your fingers that the next boss is better. But if you realize that you are the problem, that your lack of financial knowledge is what's keeping you stuck, then you have the power to change yourself. A bigger paycheck doesn't cure financial ignorance. Learning how to make money work for you does. So, what does this all mean for us? We arrive at the end of our explainer with a powerful final thought for you to chew on. The next time you feel stuck, underpaid, or just completely frustrated, when life pushes you around, which path will you choose? Are you going to get angry and fight the wrong people? Or will you wake up, learn the lesson, and finally start making your money work for you? Take a moment to really think about that. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer, and keep exercising that amazing mind of yours.